The Prime Minister has pushed for China and the US to keep talking as an important guardrail against potential catastrophe. Mr Albanese has stepped up his warning over a possible conflict in Taiwan, describing the impact of such an outcome as devastating for the world. He's made the point during his keynote address at the influential Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore.
The Prime Minister's speech has been several weeks in the making. He's had input from senior figures in the government, the Foreign Minister, the Defence Minister and others. And he's taken the opportunity in front of an influential audience of political and military leaders to urge China and the US to establish guardrails in their relationship, fundamentally to keep talking.
If you don't have the pressure valve of dialogue, if you don't have the capacity at our decision-making level to pick up the phone, to seek some clarity or provide some context, then there is always a much greater risk of assumptions spilling over into irretrievable action and reaction.
At this Shangri-La Dialogue, the Chinese Defence Minister has not accepted an invitation to meet with his US counterpart, prompting warnings that incidents can spiral out of control without dialogue. In this region, there are several potential flashpoints, not the least of which, Taiwan.
The consequences of such a breakdown, whether in the Taiwan Strait or elsewhere, would not be confined to the big powers or the site of their conflict. They would be devastating for the world.
While there's been some progress in the Australia-China relationship in recent times, Mr Albanese had a blunt message for Beijing that upholding sovereignty isn't just for the biggest powers, it's for every nation.
The right to make our own choices, to speak for ourselves and our interests, free of external pressure or duress, to pursue opportunities for our people without fear of coercion or retribution.
This important speech comes shortly after Australia outlined its plans for submarines under the AUKUS arrangement, and the Prime Minister wants that to be seen in the region as Australia doing its bit for the region. He's reiterated his commitment to working with other countries in the Indo-Pacific and not leaving it to the two main powers.
The submarines we are acquiring, the single biggest leap in Australia's defence capability in our history, reflect our determination to live up to those expectations, to be a stronger partner and a more effective contributor to stability in our region.
The Prime Minister's wrapped up his official commitments here in Singapore. He's now heading to Vietnam to mark 50 years of diplomatic relations with Australia.